We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. Steve and Jill here.
Happy Friday.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Butella.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from the Valley of the Sun.
Today, Jill and I talk about, well, it's Jill Friday, and she's going to talk about how you know you're good at something.
Do you know what you're good at?
Yeah, I'm probably an unhealthy level of confidence at about 2 or 3 things in life, and then everything else is just like, wow, I need to improve on that.
Oh, come on. You're good at more than you think, and I actually have a couple things here. This is not going to be all like, oh, this is great. We're going to hear them tell each other how great they are. No, but I'm going to give some good examples of some things so you can figure out what you are good at.
I have several questions, but please don't answer now. But my biggest question on this is, do you think that it's nature nurture, you know? How much do you actually, can you change?
We can talk about that.
Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's free. And don't forget to subscribe on the Land Academy YouTube channel and comment on the shows you like.
Buckley wrote, "Hi all, question on utilizing a checkout card processing feature on your land sell website. At what point should this be set up? My first mailer is just now getting out the door, so I don't actually have any property to sell, but I'm trying to get ahead of the stumbling blocks later. I know Land Academy has the Heartland payment system set up for Land Academy members. Thoughts on when to implement this and the ease of use. I'm totally new to it all and trying to learn. Thanks." I love this. This is so funny. Let me go jump right into one of our answers. So one of our members, he goes by Old Steve, put a comment in here. We're going to read his answer to this question.
To which my response is, I'm older Steve.
That's right. Not older Steve wrote, "Specialization is key. We buy 100 plus installment contracts a month in another vertical. Since we're first and last a lending business, we have those issues managed. Because it's what we do, I don't sell land or buy land and take pictures of land to post for sale. I take payments and collect or repossess on past due accounts. I agree that there's only one way to do this. Hold title till..." Does this really apply to this? I'm confused.
Can I read it?
Yes, please go ahead, because I'm not getting it.
Old Steve says this: specialization is the key. We buy 100 plus installment contracts a month in another vertical. Since we're first and last a lending business, we have those issues licked.
Okay.
Because it's what we do. I don't sell and buy land. I don't take pictures. I don't post land. I don't mess with that. I take payments and collect or repossess on past due accounts. I agree that there's only one way to do this. Hold title till paid in full, collect a decent down payment so the buyer has something to lose. 40 years in a credit and collection business, all the noise is under the $5,000 deals. How about actually underwriting? Nobody seems to do that. Proof of sufficient income through bank verification. We have full online scoring model, 500 applications a month, go through the machine. So sell on terms, I'll buy all the risk that's associated with that and discount it. Be a great land investor. This is his advice. Let somebody else be the collector, namely him. Maybe a group Zoom or on how to put these terms deals together. Here's his point.
That was really confusing and seemed off topic, but
so not for me, and that's why I put it in there. And maybe Jill Friday was not the best day to do this.
Not really. No. You tell what you think how that should go, and I'm going to give my answer.
We are here in this Land Academy group to be good at one thing: locating and bringing under contract really valuable land deals that are undervalued. There are all kinds of other experts in this group, and that's by design. That didn't happen on accident. Jill and I have spent years trying to create content. This podcast is one of those places where we appeal to incredibly intelligent, incredibly experienced, and specialists in other areas. And Old Steve obviously is a specialist in collection and terms and financing. He has no interest in buying and selling property. So the person that was asking this question is, I'm going to put this whole thing together. I'm going to collect these payments. I don't think that's applicable anymore. To directly answer your question about collecting payments on a land site, I wouldn't do it. Go ahead.
I didn't read it that way at all.
How'd you read it?
I read it that, okay, I'm just getting started. Should I have a checkout, an easy pay checkout button, not for payments, just to get paid for property and having that set up in a way to take payments?
And I say no.
Well, so let me finish my thing. That's nice.
No, it's still Friday. I can't do anything
Yeah, it is. Do me a favor. Will you please sit on your hands?
Yes.
So my point is, okay, I agree. Right out of the gate, you don't need that. You don't need that. Like, you don't need an LLC. You don't need pretty business cards. You don't need an office. You don't need a secretary. You don't need all these special things as you're just getting started and making sure this is right for you. So your first mailer is about to hit. I want you to wing it. They might mail you a money order. They might wire you money. You might accept even a good old fashioned check. Obviously, wait till the check clears, get it all done, then send out the deed. There's lots of different ways that you could do this. Now you can Zelle money, you can PayPal money, not PayPal, but Zelle, and I can't remember what the other one is. But anyway, there's lots of different ways that you can get paid on a transaction without having this credit card processing system set up at this point. Get some time under your belt, some deals under your belt, and then think about how you want to do this. And I'm assuming you're going to be like me. You're going to be accepting money for full payment on a transaction. And, it's nice to have that as like a down payment thing and then do the rest in escrow, depending on the size of your deals. There's lots of ways that we can do this. This whole thing about taking payments and setting this up and all that stuff, that was kind of, no offense, noise to me, because that's not what this is about right now. Don't scare the person. Like, I'm sorry, if I would have put that note in there and then read Steve's response, I would be like, what the heck? What do I have to think about? Hold on, everybody. I'm just trying to get paid on 10 deals and then make some different decisions. And I'm going to leave it at that. You can talk
Here's
now.
what I got out of it. Just be great at locating deals.
Wow. Yeah, don't worry about that. Don't sweat the small
Yes.
stuff. That's all that is right now.
Yes.
That was a bunch of small stuff. Don't sweat it right now.
That's
don't
right.
worry.
Today is Jill Friday. She's going to talk to us about how you know you're good at something. This is the meat of the show.
Now that it's my turn. I have one more thing to say about that. There is absolutely nothing wrong, and I highly encourage you to tell people, this is new to me.
Mm-hmm.
I am just getting started
That's
as
what
an
Land
investor.
Academy is for. She's exactly right.
You know what? I am the owner of the company. So here's the good news. This is new to me. I own the company. So whatever deal you and I reach, that's a deal that's going to happen. I might go about it clunky, or I might have to, whatever, but we're going to get this deal done.
To the seller, she means.
Or to the buyer.
Yeah.
To either one. Even to the buyer, because your buyer's probably saying, I love this. I want to buy it from you $40,000. How do you want me to get the money to you?
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh, this is great. I don't know what's convenient for you.
Yeah.
Can we do a check? You want to wire it to me? I like wire because that's the easiest and the fastest. And the buyer says, sure, I don't care. Let's wire it.
Or better yet, just use escrow.
Or depending on
because the further we get
True.
into this Land Academy journey here, which Jill and I started the Land Academy portion of this in 2015, the further we are not doing collections at all. We're not selling on terms. That's not the new Land Academy way. And we don't have payment processing websites anymore. Mm-hmm. Every deal that Jill and I do, buy for 20 or 30 and sell for 100 is through escrow.
Right. So I'm not really needing it at this point. I'm really not. And then even if there's an earnest money down payment, right, which you would do off your website, nowadays it's going right to the escrow company.
That's right.
So back to what the show's about. Thank you for letting me finish that. So I'm like, I just don't want everybody to get all confused here. So how do you know you're really good at something? I was thinking about this a lot. There was a time in my life when I sat back and I really looked around and I realized I was really good at selling. There were hints of it growing up. People would say, wow, you don't know, you don't even realize you're selling. I'm like, what are you talking about? I didn't even know what it meant. Like, I was a little kid. And all I remember is my parents saying, you don't understand the word no, and you can find a way to get what you want. But there was an extra little tweak there. And I'll tell you about it here in a minute. But it came so easy to me. It was just natural. So how do you know you're good at something? There's something that you're doing right now. You don't even realize it. And you outshine everybody around you. and you like it. So, for example, for Jack, it's data, it's numbers, it's picking counties, and it's all around the data. He loves it. He sits there on the weekends with a laptop on his computer, not on his lap, watching a movie, half watching a movie with me, not because, oh God, it's painful, I have to do this again. No, because he loves it so much, he just has to do it. We get in the car and it's a joke, but it's true. Who's going to whip out their phone and shouting out property values when we're going through new areas? It's just data for him. He needs this. He needs to see it and feel it and take it in, because it's going to play into what he's going to do later on that night. It's just natural. That's not for me. Now I have learned, so it talks about nature nurture a little bit. I have learned and picked up a lot of the things, but I'll never be as good as you. And I will never enjoy it like you do. It's not my thing. So when you see though, like you with data, with me, it's talking on the phone and building relationships with people. And my favorite thing to do is to get, my number one goal in life, and this is what I'm good at, is whatever transaction, whatever I'm trying to get out of someone, whether it's a contractor coming to my house or buying a property from a seller, my goal is to each get what we want out of it and we both walk away feeling good. So, and that's a whole nother conversation about how I do that. And that's actually a thing I'm going to start teaching coming up here in a week, maybe a couple days. So the point is, so you're good at it. Nobody else gets it. You get around. And when you figure this out, you need to run with it. You have got to run with it. And like I said, mine's relationships. What do you want to ask? Question. Now is Q&A time.
I just think it has to be innately interesting to you.
Yeah.
And that, I don't think that can develop over time, or it can improve over time, or, kind of expand, but that's always there. Data's always been, I've always been a numbers person. I just have. Mm-hmm. Math has always been my strongest subject. If I had three or four classes for homework to do, I'd always do math first, and often not do anything else for any of the other classes. So it's just how it is. And accounting came easy to me,
but not for everybody.
Natural. No, not at all.
Yeah.
And so, but enough about me. It's just if you really sit down with yourself and ask yourself, what are you developing something that you're interested in? We are all taught. I hope this is not the case anymore. I fear that it is. We're all taught that we are supposed to be good at everything. You go through high school, you've got 8 classes or 7 classes or whatever they are.
You're supposed to get A's in all of them.
Get A's in everything.
Yeah, you're right.
And you're supposed to do it with a smile on your face and graduate with a great grade point average so you can get in great schools, so you can go do this great college, so you can go do the same thing.
You know what?
It's silly.
That is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Now you really think about it, they should, you know what, I'm with you. I'm on Team Jack here. Because I would argue that the guy that's really good in math and physics and this, he should go to the STEM stuff. He sucks at writing. Who cares? We don't need him for writing. He's good at this stuff. Why does he have to have an A in writing too?
Maybe you're a great athlete and you're just not into academics at all.
Huh?
That's fine.
Exactly. What if you're really good with your hands?
Mm-hmm.
You're an awesome, you can take apart any kind of machine, vehicle, we all know, do all the diesel. I mean,
we all know kids that take apart the toaster when they're 4.
Uh-huh.
That's a pretty good sign that mechanical engineering or applied science, that
just
might
be an
your
aircraft
thing.
mechanic or something like that. That would be great.
Yeah.
Those are valuable trades. And that person, and maybe they can't read.
Yeah.
Maybe they're dyslexic.
Totally.
There could be other things. So what? Why do they have to have an A in everything? I think you're right. I think that's dumb. So it's a whole nother.
Well, over time, and it's already really starting to happen through technology and through the internet, you don't necessarily have to adhere to those old school education type rules. I mean, just think about YouTube. You really don't. I believe we're probably at the tail end of this 4-year university thing, or at least maybe in the 6th or 7th inning of it. And so it's just so ineffective to go waste 4 years after high school on subjects that
you already did.
It's a money machine, is what it is. When there's places like Land Academy where you can, it's a fraction of the cost and time and you're on your way to making a ton of money if you find out it's for you.
Well, here's the thing I was going to talk about to bring it. You just brought it into what we do every day. So, all right, this is a hard task, I think, for people. You really have to take a step back and really have to spend some time on this and figure out what it is for you. What are you really good at and what do you enjoy? And then the harder part, once you figure that out, then it's even harder. This is a truth time here. Personally speaking, it's really hard for me to admit the areas that I suck at because I want to be good at everything. I really do. So I want to have A's. I was that kid. Oh my God, I want to have all A's. I was president of the National Honor Society, by the way, when I was a senior in high school. Talk about a geek. But I wanted to be good at it all. But I wasn't good at it all. I worked extra hard. That's what I did. I had to work extra hard at the things that I wasn't good at. So now that you take a step back and you realize what you're really good at and you're moving forward in life and in business, now you need to find a person, and I mean personally and professionally, not just professionally. You've got to find a partner who picks up where you in the areas that you are weak. That, to me, is how you win in life.
I agree. Hey, you never want to be the smartest guy in the room. Trust me on this.
Or maybe at your one thing you do.
Maybe at your one, yeah, but even then, I think that if you're the greatest drummer there ever was, you still need to take drum lessons.
Well, you got to have a good singer and a good guitarist.
Right.
And a good everything.
But you still need to improve on, like, I get so much out of these Thursday webinars that we have because people will ask questions or whatever will happen, they'll be, would you do this deal? And it'll be about some small, weird section of Florida. And I will honestly say, I'm not sure I would do this deal. And somebody will pipe in who knows the area because they live there. Mm-hmm. And they'll say, this is the greatest deal there ever was, or avoid it like the plague. Mm-hmm. And so I'm now no longer the smartest person. I'm the ringleader. That's certainly not the smartest person in the room. And that's what I strive for. I learn how to manipulate, especially in career path. I learn as much from other people that join career path and are participants in that as they do from me, I think.
I agree. So here, you know what? That's a beautiful way to end this. We talked about how you know you're good at something, right? And what you need, how you need to push that forward, man. Accept it, embrace it, and go for it. And then you need to find a person that fills in those pieces. And the last thing that I think that we found out that we are collectively good at is creating a community and putting this all together. Yeah. That's a whole different talent that I didn't know I had or we had.
Me too.
And we are good at that.
We just brought it out of each other.
We did.
And so if I was walking around...
It's a shared talent that we created together.
If I was walking around in my life with Jill, socially and or professionally, saying, I'm the smartest guy in the room. Great, she can answer the phone and do that, but it would never have happened. Mm.
I hear you.
And vice versa, I think.
Thank you. If you need access to any sort of ownership or property details, including owner phone numbers and FEMA flood map overlays, please check out parcelfact.com or neighborscoop.com. Created by investors, that's us, for investors like you. Happy you could join us today. 5 days a week, you can find us here on the Land Academy Show.
Join us next week for another interesting episode. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
Yeah, so that's what I was trying to say at the end here. It's like we turned into it. So knowing that I'm good at talking on the phone and selling, and knowing what you're good at data, I think transformed into you becoming a really good educator and me becoming a good motivator. Mm-hmm. And then that's what's needed to make this community phenomenal.
A lot of it was for computers for me too. I had a computer class in middle school and a really good computer teacher. She was really young and could identify with us. Mm-hmm. And that just set me for life. I met a couple of people in middle school that were in that class that are my lifelong friends to this day. Mm-hmm. So I was building computers in high school and way before we should have been doing that stuff. Mm-hmm. And so whatever it is, we all thought it was normal. But once I got out of that environment, everyone's looking like, what do you mean you built a computer?
That's
You're a genius. I'm like, well, I'm not a genius. This just made sense to me.
Isn't that funny? That's a good indicator right there that you're good at something. Everybody else looks at you like you're nuts. Like, how can you do that? You're like, what do you mean you can't do it?
So I guess what I started to say earlier on, and maybe we'll leave it with this, even though it's Joe Friday.
Yeah, whatever. Steal the show. It's all good.
Have this conversation with yourself.
That's it.
You know, what if there's some stuff you just love
Take some time.
and you haven't done it for 5 years because everybody says it's stupid? And they're wrong.
It's not stupid.
It's not stupid at all. What if you love raising money for nonprofits or something? I don't know. Or helping the community. It's all positive.
Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you find our content valuable and we appreciate your support. If you haven't already, please check out our YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button. We're Steve and Jill.
Information
And inspiration
to buy undervalued property.
We hope you find our content valuable and we appreciate your support. If you have not already, please check out our channel and hit the subscribe button.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the content you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows.